Optimism is the fuel that powers every success. Load up and leave no space for pessimism, but be armed with the know-how, determination, focus, and hard work to take you where you want to go. Hi there, I'm Adrian Atkins and welcome to Jamaica Magazine. In our program today, people in their communities are using these principles to improve the way they live. Also, our top news stories of the week and more. Sit back and relax.
Calling all Jamaicans. Come share your views on how the government can improve greater access to drinking water. The Ministry of Water, Land Environment and Climate Change, MWLECC, wants to ensure that you get the opportunity to speak up on the draft water sector policy and implementation plan. The Courtly Hotel is the place to be on April 30 at 6 p.m. The consultations are being staged by the Ministry in collaboration with Global Water Partnership Caribbean. 100% access is the target, so come, speak out and get heard. To find out more about the water sector policy and implementation plan, visit the Ministry's website, mwh.gov.jm, or call 926-1590.
Government is giving special attention to rural development as it moves to improve the livelihood and quality of life for residents. The various interventions being undertaken aim to reduce poverty and create wealth. Rural Manchester is one of the areas benefiting. Take a look.
Manchester was abuzz with activities recently as farmers and small and microtourism operators celebrated the handing over of 12 projects under the JCIF implemented and World Bank funded Rural Economic Development Initiative READY project. With assistance from READY, these groups received financial as well as business development support in the areas of business management, disaster mitigation, integrated pesticide management, project management, greenhouse technology and organizational strengthening, all of which have helped to sustain these businesses and foster economic independence for community members, as they too have benefited through gainful employment.
READY represents a focus on economic development of rural developments through the development of businesses.
What READY seeks to do is to provide training to groups to build their capacity to understand what needs to do, to understand how they manage their farming as a business or how they manage their craft operations or tourism entity as a business. So they take critical decisions.
The cash injection of over $51 million from the JCIF implemented and World Bank funded project saw to the construction of greenhouses, breeding stock improvement, technological advancements and product development.
In terms of the READY project, it's a great opportunity for us to be partnered with the government of Jamaica and the JCIF on financing this project, because we recognize here in Jamaica that the communities really they have to drive the development.
And after months of hard labor, the beneficiaries, like proud parents, were eager to showcase samples of their handiwork. While it was a day of smiling, the beneficiaries are the first to admit that there was a time when it seemed easier to throw in the towel. But they stayed the course and are now reaping the sweet benefits of their hard labor.
Before Jason, we used to be like madams, up and down and all over the place, not organized. But through Jason, we are organized.
Let's take a closer look at the impact that READY has made on the lives of ordinary persons from two very diverse businesses. First to stop, the Jamaica Creative Cooperative, JACC. Prior to assistance from READY, the members from this group were experiencing marketing difficulties until
Sunday, May 16, 2012, the Gleaner and the Observer newspaper carried a JCIF advert calling for proposals from agricultural and tourism groups. That advert had creative power because it sparked life.
With the establishment of the JACC, these artisans have a place to call home. The JACC is already generating a lot of buzz as it caters to nostalgic appetites both home and abroad. Key to the cooperative's growing success, the transference of training into practice.
We did get training in marketing and also in presentation, you know, how to label and how to make our products attractive to the public. And we found that, you know, it comes in very, very useful.
For those who can't make the journey to Mandeville, your authentic Jamaican products are just a click away at creativejamaicans.com. Next stop, the hills of Old England, where we find 2 greenhouses that tell the story of the commitment, patience and ambition of the members of the Old England Greenhouse Association.
Before we're ready, we always have what you call open field farming. And it wasn't so progressive as now, because since we acknowledge the movement that's ready, this is called greenhouse technology. After we tap into it, we get to understand that this is better. We do better farming because of the protective environment.
In keeping with their business training, the group has already identified prospective markets prior to the reaping of their crops.
What we plan to do is to increase our greenhouses.
In addition to the greenhouses, the association received an automated drip irrigation system where fertilizers and water are moderately fed into the soil, water storage tanks, bathrooms, and a storage area. You too can realize your dreams of becoming a budding entrepreneur and help propel Jamaica towards further development. All you need to do is organize a registered cooperative, benevolent or friendly society, have a profitable agriculture or rural tourism business idea, and apply to JSIF. For more information on Ready, visit JSIF's office 1C to 1F Pawsey Road, Kingston, or log on to jsif.org. And remember to like our Facebook page.
Know your numbers and control the keys to a healthier heart. Know the numbers for your blood pressure, cholesterol level, blood glucose level, and your weight and body mass index. Find out the risks they represent and what you need to do to stay healthy. Talk to your doctor and start making healthy lifestyle choices to prevent a heart attack or stroke.
Consumer support for local production is important to Jamaica's economic development. And when it comes to our foods, there is much to savor for our good health and the sustainable growth and development of the country. I have an appetite for things Jamaican, and you should too.
The Jamaicans are running away with the event. Can Trinidad and Tobago take the second spot? Asafa Powell, Jamaica, gold, 37.10. World record!
Born and fed in Jamaica, homegrown athletes sustained by the foods of the soil, enriched to reach international heights of glory.
This is a fabulous moment in Jamaican and Caribbean track and field history.
An agricultural sector steeped in a tradition of excellence, ripe for expanded production, energized to tap into new markets. A nation of champions. Food. For most, that probably means the broad label for just about every edible item we humans consume. Now, Jamaicans fully agree to this, but in the lingua of the island, food is also a specific term for the side dishes that accompany the main course of Jamaican meals. You might also hear them called ground or grung provisions: yam, potato, sweet or Irish, dasheen, cocoa, cassava, and others that are staples of the island's agricultural output. Farmers, supported by government and strong private groups, plant and harvest these crops for the discerning Jamaican consumer and a reliable export market. As the world marvels at the lightning speed of the likes of Usain Bolt and Veronica Campbell-Brown, many have asked, is it in the food? Perhaps the yellow yam?
When we roast the yellow yam, when we roast the yellow yam, and we slice it in a two, and we slice it in a two.
The skin is brown, sometimes black, and some say scaly. Peel away the outer layer and get to the heart of its starchy goodness. There you'll find fulfillment and a taste that is as distinctive as the indescribable talent of our trailblazing athletic stars. More importantly, in the heart of our yams are essential nutrients for healthy living: vitamins C and B6, potassium, manganese, fiber, and iron. These nutrients converge in several varieties of the Jamaican yam, a tuber with off-white, purple, white, yellow, and sometimes red flesh, depending on the variety. For every type of yam, there is a uniquely Jamaican name, like renta, yampi, moonshine, or afu. Whatever the name, they're all edible, just so long as you cook them first. And with thousands of acres of fertile land, yam production is an island-wide vocation in Jamaica. But you might be surprised, or not, to know that the most popular yam-producing parish, Trelawney, is also the home of the world's fastest man.
Corrected to 969, the relax. Usain Bolt, tremendous running by this man.
Daylight come and me want go home.
Prevent overfishing. Give our marine resources room to replenish. Protect valuable marine species from extinction. Fish sanctuaries have been created to do just that. These designated protected areas for fish and other marine life help to breed, grow, and maintain a healthy population. No one is allowed in a fish sanctuary. It is illegal. Offenders will be arrested and their fishing equipment and catch confiscated. Allowing our marine and seafood population to grow means more catch later and food security for all.
Employment, money in the pocket, a skill gained, a community being transformed slowly as its soil bears colorful and healthy foods from the greenhouse. The technology of horticultural production in greenhouses has been around for decades. Introduced on a wide scale to Jamaica in 2005, high crop yields are produced within a controlled environment called a house. Like a family under one roof, the residents of Trenchtown have come together and established a greenhouse project in their community. At first, only some of the community members saw the farming activity as a means of supplementing their food supply. But as tangible benefits are reaped and people begin to earn cash to offset their living expenses, greenhouse farming is growing on more of the residents.
Right around the community, people love the farm.
The Trenchtown Greenhouse Farming Project started in 2011. It was an idea that sprung from the residents themselves, and a project proposal was crafted when the Agency for Inner City Renewal bought into the idea. The proposal was sent for funding. Financial institution Citibank and not-for-profit organization United Way of Jamaica sponsored the project.
The greening of Trenchtown. I think food security, people's ability to feed themselves, must take priority over everything else except salvation.
Thus far, they have produced some of the best crops of pak choy, callaloo and tomatoes. Up to 20 pounds of tomatoes are reaped daily from inside this 30 by 40 square foot greenhouse. The sweet news for greenhouse farmers is that the market is growing for their bountiful crops.
From them hear that the thing is here, then will come give us the real support.
Housewives, schools and businesses all purchase crops from the greenhouse farm. Vendors at the nearby Coronation Market also get produce from the farm.
You can't choose my bag. I'm choose that one here.
Play a great role because otherwise I'm not working. And if I can do something and get a little sniping, I'll have to just give thanks.
So far, it's a male-dominated business with 6 men employed full-time on the farm, somewhat dismissing the theory that young men are uninterested in farming.
Maybe I show enough young men now the area, you understand, the land, to do the farming. But since this greenhouse thing come in, I see a lot of people who I never really know of. I never really know, say, them people that are really in a farming and I take it serious.
They tend to the green farm with care, uprooting weeds, watering crops, replanting vegetables, using a minimal amount of pesticide. Though the greenhouse project is in its budding stage, all parties involved are amazed by the success of the farm.
This community has faced a lot of adversity through tribalism, crime and violence, these types of things. They're out of that situation now, and they needed to see something to give them a sense of hope. This greenhouse is a major symbol of that. Every day I come here, I see persons just coming in just to look at the greenhouse. Whether things are selling or not, they come, they see it, they're inspired, they want to move on.
The Trenchtown Greenhouse Farming Project also has a youth component. The farming project is within 3 prominent Kingston schools: Charlie Smith High, Trenchtown High, and St. Andrew Technical High. Students of these schools are taught the rudiments of greenhouse farming.
We're trying to promote entrepreneurism, financial literacy using agriculture.
The community is adamant that the project must be ongoing. Entities such as the Rural Agricultural Development Authority were brought on board to help with training in greenhouse production. Some 12 persons received training. They are expected to branch out and build more greenhouses. That will help to minimize unemployment in Trenchtown and generate much-needed cash into the community.
That can easily change if we allow the cutting of trees, forest fires, animal grazing, crop cultivation, or improper dwellings to destroy our forest reserves. Help preserve Jamaica's flora and fauna. If you know or suspect that someone is hurting our forest reserves, call 1-888-FORESTS. Remember, protecting our forests means sustaining our lives.
The threat posed by extreme weather conditions is rising due to climate change. Proper risk management actions can reduce or prevent the effects, but we first must know what to expect. Out the road, we asked the persons what they know about climate change.
Climate change do a lot of things, It brings forth like disasters, sometimes sickness too and them thing there. So I know sometimes it affect the economy too, because amount of spending have to do back to get back on them thing there.
The government, I think they place someone in charge for climate change, and I know that how we treat the environment impacts the climate. And how we dispose of our garbage and all of that, the fumes that come from our cars.
What I do know about climate change is that we as humans, we do have a lot to do with it. And our practices, example, burning and whatnot, yes, it does affect us negatively. So I think we need to all take that into consideration.
Well, I know that climate change is actually affecting a lot of, the things has to do with the environment and the elements of the environment. As a matter of fact, I was actually a part of the climate change song. And I was actually going around in a lot of the schools and, you know, to talk to people about, the kids about climate change and global warming. So it's something that people need to take seriously because it's actually affecting our environment and affecting the whole earth.
Climate change is all about the nature of the earth. That's the first thing. So you see this year you can get more sun and less rain. Next year you can get earthquake in some part of the earth, or less rain, or you get more breeze and less water. Like how you see New York are going now. Last year New York wasn't so cold enough. And the next 5 years from now, people have to go left New York and find some Caribbean island because it will get more icier and more cooler.
Family, school, church, community, all important agents of change in our society.
They influence what we think about ourselves, our surroundings, and how we see the roles of males and females.
Let's all work together for equality for all Jamaicans.
Let's make Jamaica a place where both males and females have equal access to a good education, good jobs, the best healthcare, and opportunities for the good of the country.
Males and females are different, but it doesn't mean they're not equal.
Let's build a Jamaica that doesn't discriminate. Become an agent of change.
The top news stories of the week are next.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News of the Week. Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips announced this week that he would be reviewing the recently announced revenue measures for the 2014-2015 fiscal year and would shortly announce if any adjustments are to be made. Among the measures to fill a $6.7 billion gap in the budget, Dr. Phillips had announced a requirement to pay GCT on vehicles up to 10 years old instead of the previous 8 years, and a levy on withdrawals from deposit-taking institutions and encashments from security dealers. While saying the range of measures would be reviewed, he asserted that the basic principles remained, that revenues would only be collected from sources most able to pay, and that every effort would be made to keep these payments equitable and fair. In the meantime, the finance minister says the administration had to put forward a tax package to ensure the successful continuation of Jamaica's economic reform program. He said the revenue measures would help Jamaica achieve its primary surplus target of 7.5%, without which the sacrifices made by public sector workers, bondholders, and the wider public would be in vain.
And would put us back to square one, where we would be closed out from access to the resources of the multilateral institutions, and we would be closed out further from access to private capital markets. The improvements in our ratings by the rating agencies would disappear, and again, the trust deficit, which we have been trying to repair, would be widened.
Meanwhile, Jamaicans can look forward to taking home more of their pay when the income tax threshold is increased on January 1. While making his budget presentation, Dr. Phillips announced that the threshold would increase by $49,920, moving to $557,232 per annum. Students looking to pursue tertiary education also got good news when the minister announced policy changes for the Students' Loan Bureau.
Interest due on outstanding loans to the SLB will not be calculated any longer on the current add-on basis, but on the reducing balance, thus reducing the monthly payment for the beneficiaries who pay.
In addition, one person can now stand as guarantor for up to 3 students, and persons over age 60 can serve as guarantors, while the moratorium period before some students have to start making their SLB loan payments has been extended. Agriculture Minister Roger Clark made his budget presentation this week and announced a 4-pronged strategy to deter or catch the culprits of predial larceny. Cattle are to be tagged with chips that will transmit valuable information about the animals to a national database and provide accessible data if stolen.
Under this program, every single head of cattle will be tagged. And
virtually issued with a passport. The passport will contain critical information about the animal and will be mandatory for movement of the animal.
Dedicated predial larceny units will also be set up in the Agriculture Ministry and the police force. And the Agricultural Produce and Predial Larceny Prevention Acts will be amended to impose stiffer fines and simplify the procedures for licensing persons along the food chain. Minister Clark also announced plans to acquire 2 drones to help monitor and survey our marine space to curtail illegal fishing and poaching in Jamaican waters.
The drones will be fitted with cameras and will be deployed as necessary, and will have the capacity to transmit data back to base, which will assist in detecting and deterring poachers, as well as to assist with search and rescue at sea.
Industry, Investment and Commerce Minister Anthony Hilton says the illegal removal and sale of public metal infrastructure through the scrap metal trade has been significantly curtailed as a result of stringent measures put in place since January 2013.
There is a restriction on the export of irrigation pipes used in agriculture, as well as railway lines, copper, I-beams, bridges, manhole covers and signposts.
And finally, residents of Helsha St. Catherine now have a new police post to promote proximity policing in their community.
I think it signals a community that's involved, that's concerned, that wants to partner with the police to bring safety and security, and very importantly, the perception of safety and security to the community.
And those were some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolf.
What are you doing to help the fight against crime?
Sitting on the corner, minding your own business, definitely not going to work.
It is time for us to unite.
Unite. Unite for change.
Citizens coming together to make their respective communities safer. The police, schools, public health, business, churches, NGOs, parents and neighborhood watch volunteers.
As we, the police, do our job,
we as citizens need to do our part as well.
Report crimes or even suspicious activities.
Let's all work together
as one united front against crime.
And make Jamaica the place of choice to
live, work, raise families, and do business.
Unite for Change, an initiative of the Ministry of National Security.
This is where we say goodbye for today. But join us again tomorrow for more useful information. Tell us what you thought of the show. Send an email to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or hit us up on Twitter @JISnews. And our website, jis.gov.jm, remains a constant portal for the very latest government information. On behalf of the entire production team here at the JIS, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.